Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game, the algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch a payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursement? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the runaround. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. The reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller Central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live for seller day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope. Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell the day. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stack, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registry's a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low, all products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Max School. To Max School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope. They got the SOP cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe, helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalogs, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Max School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using helium-10, strike distance keywords pass the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. All text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. Laser Chase. Peace.
Hello and welcome to the My Amazon Guy Friday live Q&A. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm VP of Sales Marketing here at My Amazon Guy, and I'm here to answer any and all of your questions. So for all those people, throw some questions into the chat, throw some comments in there right now. We'll get to them as we get to them. People have been already commenting as early as 11:20, it looks like, this morning. So we have a ton to get through today. Excited to do it. Excited to be here with all of you. So without further ado, let's hop right on in. Why just new product launch on Amazon visibility goes down after 4 months? A couple of reasons, right? So the thing I would first and foremost encourage you to do is go to your search query performance and review to see if your impression share has actually gone down. Sometimes when people say visibility, what they actually mean is not visibility, but rather just sales in general. And so sometimes if sales are going down, that's not actually an issue with your visibility, which would be your impressions. It's an issue with something deeper. Maybe you have a new competitor. Maybe you're not getting as many clicks as you once were. So all of these are potential reasons as to why you could potentially see visibility going down. But start with search query performance report. Check to see where in your ICAP funnel you actually are seeing that decrease after the 4th month. Great question to start us out, though. Let's go Heisenberg. Great to see you. And I've been posting I think this is a secondary question. I don't have the first part of this question. So I'm just going to go off this secondary part, Heisenberg. And I've been posting non-verified reviews on my own products. Is that allowed, or could it risk my seller account? That could absolutely risk your seller account. So that is what Amazon considers review manipulation. It is a major breach of seller code of conduct in terms of service with Amazon. And it will absolutely get your account taken down, flagged. And I absolutely would not do that if that's something you're doing. Jeffrey Vallon, good to see you. I sell supplements and I have Amazon sticker my products. I understand I can't use manufacturer barcodes for my products since they have an expiration dates. Can you please clarify if this is correct? Technically, yes, it is correct. So that's kind of the lot number aspect of things. The way to kind of get around this, Jeff, would be to essentially create a brand new SKU every single time you're sending product in, which sounds awful to do and annoying to do, and tracking it can be really annoying. But the best way to do it is basically set the SKU as literally lot number, expiration date, right? And then you can kind of track over time how things are doing. It's kind of annoying dealing with expiration dates in general, and you can't always actually assume. Amazon technically is supposed to have a first in, first out policy. I am one who is quite hesitant to believe whether or not they actually do that a lot of times. So the biggest thing here that I would just encourage is that SKU. It just allows you essentially to, yes, do the FNSKU barcode, but also allows you to keep kind of individualized for every single one of those products. Harris, I know. I need help with listing hijackers in a country where I don't sell. Have no company registration, trademark, or brand registry. About 1.5 years ago, I accidentally had a bill of lading plus remote fulfillment active, and my ASINs became live in that marketplace briefly. I unenrolled from remote FBA, but didn't disconnect. It's not bill of lading, BIL. Oh, bill of international listing. I ignored it and never opened that marketplace again. Okay. Now, when I search Google, I see my brand name and ASINs there with 50 plus hijackers across 4 ASINs. I contacted seller support. They sent me to brand registry, and brand registry sent me back to seller support. That is the most atypical thing for Amazon support I've ever heard, but let's keep going. I also used the abuse reporting infringement form, but got generic replies. I can't buy all those products just to report with order IDs. What should I do? This is a tricky one. The reality is that I will probably just tell you right now, if the listing in the other marketplace, in the international marketplace, it's not tied to a brand registry, it's not tied to your trademark, It's just your product being sold in another marketplace, right? And it depends on what the marketplace is, on how much this really matters, I guess. But the question to me would be, are you planning on selling in that marketplace? If you're not planning on selling in that marketplace, I just wouldn't do anything, honestly. If you still have the marketplace open, you could technically close the listing, right? So if you're not planning on selling on the listing and you're not planning on, selling in that marketplace, you could go into that marketplace, have your product, and you could close the listing within that marketplace. You have to do that via the actual marketplace, though. You can't just do that from the non-marketplace. So you basically have to close the listing in that specific marketplace. Now, is that worth your time and effort? Maybe. But it's also a question of, if there's a bunch of people, quote unquote, selling your product, it's not actually your product in the other marketplace, and it doesn't have much bearing as long as your reviews aren't attached to your primary marketplace. I would say it doesn't matter too much. But from a brand ownership perspective, yeah, just close the listing down if it doesn't matter to you. Any update SPP? Last date was 31st of August. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as well. Abdullah, I'm hearing basically exactly that. Last date, or the most recent date that I have, and let me double check. But yeah, I think the most recent date everyone kind of has is August 31st. I think we are basically having to wait for then. Amazon's going to kick off all secondary users. We're going to, see if it works, I guess. I don't know. We have everything set up on our end. We have everybody already starting to use SPP to actually get work done. Pretty simple. Overall, actually, that does remind me, makes me think I need to make a note for later. So I actually appreciate that, Abdullah. There we go. Had to make it myself a little note for later so I can come back to that. Let's see. Again, what is your source of Amazon client website YouTube? Oh, how do we get clients? A lot of inbound, actually. So a lot of our clients are inbound. Yes, from our YouTube, our content here, right? I think, I'm looking at the comments here and I can see literally like 4 current clients or clients we've worked with who are in the comments right now, right? So absolutely, YouTube is a huge, our content is huge generator when it comes to our clients. But then, we also do some outbound work. I mean, I get a bunch of messages. I would say I get somewhere in the ballpark of 5 to 10 different people minimum per week that come through LinkedIn, just people I've been talking to, or just people within who are needing things. But yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, it's not like, you're going to be able, you could buy lead lists if you want to. There's tons of different sources for buying lead lists in the space. The quality, depending on who you're working with and what leads you're getting, will be up in the air, in my opinion. Some of them are really, really good. A whole lot of them are really, really bad. So, let's see. There we go. Hi, Noah. Happy Friday. I want to advise on Pinterest. Should I direct traffic to my Amazon listing or my Shopify store for maximum sales? So that's an interesting one. Pinterest, honestly, probably your Shopify, to be entirely frank. And the reason I say that is because Pinterest users are likely going to be more inclined to buy direct from a brand versus buying on Amazon. Now, you could try, and honestly, what I would do is maybe do an A/B test, try 2 weeks for one, 2 weeks for another, right? Or even split up products and see the difference. A lot of consumers like using Amazon. They know they're going to get 2-day shipping. They know that the product is going to be guaranteed to get to them. They're not going to get scammed. They're not going to have to worry about any of that. So that's why people like Amazon a lot. Now, your Shopify, though, you get to basically own the customer experience. You get to represent your brand a little bit more. So, and I think that matters a little bit more, in my opinion, to a lot of people who are, I guess, Pinterest users. So that's probably where I would start. I would start with just doing an A/B test, but more than likely your Shopify is going to be the better bet there. Harris, love the new Seller Support Sucks album. Yeah, we've had it for a little bit. I like it. You can check that Get the full thing at myamazonguy.com/music. I think it's also on Shopify, or not Shopify, Spotify as well. For a new Amazon private label account, should we first create a GTIN exempted listing and then apply for brand registry enrollment? Or is it better to get brand registry enrollment first, then create new listing? Interesting. So I would say more than likely brand registry first. So the reason for that is because I have seen scenarios recently where people don't get their brand registry and then they have a listing before their brand registry gets active, it gets hijacked. I'm seeing hijackers be a little bit more common these days, I guess, is the best thing. So I would probably get your brand registry. It literally will take you 72 hours maybe, because you get your USPTO trademark and then you immediately will update your brand registry. It'll go into pending status and you'll have your brand registry with your trademark, can create the listing. It's like an extra 72 hours, right? And if you need help with it, Fossil, you can head on over to myamazonguy.com/trademark. We'll file it for you. We'll do your brand registry enrollment for you. Like I say, it's like a 72-hour process, and we've done over 2,500 of them. So I know, happy Friday. Can you share the link to your AWD video? I can't seem to find it. Well, now you're asking me to find it, Viper, which I know I'm good at searching for things. I think it's, people say that like being able to Google stuff or whatever isn't necessarily a superpower, right? I kind of disagree. Primarily because, let's see, which one is it actually? Because being able to, find accurate information with a search is pretty important. And now that you're saying that, now you're asking this question, Viper, I can't seem to find it either. I'll try and find it a little bit later. Somebody on our social team might be able to find it. I don't want to spend too much time on it here. It might be somewhere in our logistics tips thing. Let's see. Yeah, not seeing anything under here. Yeah, I'll try and find it a little bit later, Viper. But I'm not seeing anything right off the bat here, unfortunately. We talked about doing a free recipe guide for a product and how I would go about doing that. Is it okay to have it on my instruction manual and have them scan a code that gets their email and I send the recipe PDF then? Yeah, that should be fine. It's one of those things where it's a gray area with Amazon. Amazon technically doesn't want you talking to sellers outside of Amazon. They don't want you kind of subverting the Amazon process. But the reality is they mainly have that for people that are actually subverting the process and like are abusing the system. But at the same time, they push, brands like Golly that have, QR codes on their product packaging in their listing. So not really the biggest thing in the world. Let's see. I've been getting a lot of questions about product inserts that I want to know what would be an acceptable product insert that does not break term service. Technically speaking, that would break term service. But big thing, again, gray area here. The thing Amazon actually cares more about here is reviews. That's the number one thing Amazon cares about in product inserts, is basically anything regarding a review, whether it's asking for a positive review, whether it is trying to get people to give you a positive review by giving them something. So those are the type of things that, typically speaking, Amazon's going to care a little bit more about than you just getting a QR code and giving someone a free recipe insert. Like that's not really a thing that Amazon's going to care about. It really, as long as you don't mention anything to do with reviews whatsoever, you shouldn't really have much of a problem with any of the product inserts that you're kind of thinking of. What services does MAG provide for Vendor Central Seller? Full service. We manage everything end to end on both Seller Central and Vendor Central. So currently speaking, we have a couple of different, I would say probably 20, 30 different Vendor Central clients right now. variety of services. We do design work, we do advertising, we help with inventory logistics, PO management, troubleshooting, you name it. If there's something on Vendor Central, we handle it for you. There's a YouTube video on a product called Review Scan Go that says it does not break Amazon's TOS. Is there a way for you to verify if it does or doesn't? Because the claim is that it doesn't, but seems like it might. Let me see. A YouTube video on a product called Review Scam Go. Scan Go. Is it the one by like Crescent Cow? Coho? I don't know. I haven't actually seen this guy. He has a lot of good videos though. I should look him up. Anyways, I don't know. I'll have to watch that a little bit later, Viper. I think if you are brand registered, you don't need it. Don't need what? I don't know what this is relating to. Maybe something else. Where do we submit questions? Right there. You are submitting the question right there. You asking this question is you submitting a question. How much should I charge as an Amazon consultant for retainer and commission? What if customer asks the following question? Why should we give you X percentage if you don't improve our sales/profit? Okay, so having been both a consultant for companies, owned my own agency, worked at multiple agencies, and this one currently, let me say this. So first and foremost, how much should you charge? How much are you worth? How much do you think people will pay you? That's the big thing. How much is your skill set worth? And how much do you think people will pay for that skill set? If you think you're worth $1,000, but you can't make a single sale, maybe you're not worth $1,000. You know? So figure that out. That's more of a personal thing. Do some testing, see what people are willing to pay. The biggest thing is people will pay a lot of money to solve their pains. And if you can solve somebody's pain, you know, if somebody has $1 million pain, you know, spending $100,000 to solve that $1 million pain doesn't sound too bad. Now, why should we give you X percentage commission if you don't improve our sales/profit? My favorite thing to always, you know, relate back to this. First off, I don't always think it's a great idea to have like a percentage of sales. So we don't always use percentage of sales within what we do. But anyways, let's say that you do and you want to, and you're planning on doing that. My favorite question to ask is like to people is, if you were to hire this role internally, would you expect that you don't have to pay the person until they deliver results? Right? Like that's always my favorite thing. Like they're hiring you to solve a problem and to fill a role that they're trying to do, especially if you're just a single consultant compared to like hiring an agency. It really is just that. It's like if you are hiring someone, if you have to hire someone to, you know, do a job and whatnot, are you expecting that person is going to like, you know, no, you just fire them at some point in time if they don't do the job successfully, but you still have to pay them at the end of the day. Now, if people really hate it, just give them a flat rate offer. You know, it doesn't have to be percentage based. For question asked above, how do I make sure my listings reviews are not attached to that marketplace? As for current marketplaces, UK and USA, I sell my reviews are connected. I'm not attached to that marketplace. As for current market. Oh, okay. So the way that you can make sure is basically just looking at that marketplace, looking at your current one, and then also going to your US. And if you scroll down, you can see reviews from other markets, and you can just do a compare and contrast. How many reviews are from other markets? Does that match up with your UK, or does that match up with UK plus whatever that market is? Hey Noah, hope you are well. I heard Mag had internships. I just recently launched a product on Amazon. Would like to take the internship to learn how to make it successful. Can I apply, or is that conflict of interest of interns you are looking for? No, as long as you disclose at the start that you have your own brand and that you are selling on Amazon, and make sure that you get the thumbs up from our team that, yeah, that's okay, which is totally fine. We have plenty of other employees internally who have their own brand sell on Amazon. It would be, I would say, a bit egregious of us if we didn't allow Amazon sellers to work here, right? Especially trying to be the most seller-centric company in the world. That being said, yeah, you can just apply. If you go to myamazonguy.com/interns or internship, you can just apply there. So yeah, there it is, internships. Right down there, myamazonguy.com/internships. Yeah, we're constantly hiring new interns. We hire them for pretty much every single role, every position in the company. It's paid internship as well, so it's not a free internship or anything like that. So yeah, if you're interested, go apply. The more, the merrier, I suppose. Happy Friday. I got invited to pilot embedding Amazon reviews on our direct consumer site. Any thought? Yeah. I've worked with a couple of brands that have been able to do that. I am hesitant. So there's, first and foremost, this isn't anything new. The only new part about this is Amazon having the direct integration into your direct consumer site, right? I'm up in the air on it, right? Because you can already import reviews from Amazon using software, right? So it's not like this is something new by any standards. But what I will say is that I don't like giving Amazon any more control. Like, part of the reason I have a direct consumer site is to try and have a differentiation from Amazon, try and have another market, so you're not just all eggs in one basket. And doing stuff like this, the more you do stuff like this and just connect everything into Amazon, the more you're just giving Amazon kind of leverage over your business in general, which I'm never a fan of, right? Of course, Amazon's just the big 400-pound gorilla in the room. But if I can limit how much control they have over things, I mean, think of it this way. What if you wanted to run a discount for Black Friday or Cyber Monday on your Shopify store, but you wanted to run half that discount on Amazon? Well, if they just decide to hit you with a high pricing error, even though they're not supposed to consider discounts for that, but now they're looking at your product all the time because they're connected directly in. They also are starting to do things where they are taking down listings on Amazon if they find that your direct consumer website has information around SEO that differs from your Amazon's product as well. So I'm up in the air on this one. Oh, I did disconnect my Build International listing, deleted all the ASIN in that marketplace. However, is deleting and closing different? Now I've deleted without closing ASINs. What should I do? Yeah, so deleting it just does nothing more than deletes it out of your own Seller Central backend. So all you actually did is you didn't actually remove the listing whatsoever. You just deleted it from your own Seller Central, so you can't make changes. So what you need to do is you need to add it back into your Seller Central, and then you need to close the listing. Now, the thing is, since it's not technically registered to your brand, but it is registered, I guess, to your account, I wonder if you actually can close it. You can technically submit a seller support case to try and get the listing closed, but up in the air on whether or not you'll fully be able to do that. But again, as long as it's not negatively impacting you, your business, your brand, I'm up in the air on it. Sergey, I know. Can you apply a discount coupon on a new product right on the launch day, or do you need a sales history? You need a sales history, unfortunately. I mean, you can technically, I believe, apply it right on launch, but I don't know why you would. I believe most of the time coupons need to have what is considered the was price. And since you don't have any sales history, you won't have a was price. I guess I could try this, but I don't think you can, to be honest, at least from my memory, if my memory serves me correctly, getting up there in my years, so to speak. So yeah, I don't think you can. And I also would say, I don't know why you would. I would just do typical reducing price. I don't think coupon's going to help you a ton at launch. It also kind of devalues the brand if you're kind of thinking about it, like immediately launching with a coupon, being like, hey, we're cheap. My client's account was deactivated due to a linked account issue. This happened because the client created an account for his friend using the same IP address, which led Amazon to flag the accounts. Wrong. That is not how linked account works whatsoever. That is old school news as far as linked accounts. So Amazon does not care about same IP address anymore. They don't. That's just a very old school mentality type of thing. If they did, then there would be hundreds, actually, there would be thousands of businesses on Amazon that would get linked account issues and go down overnight. There would be no such thing as an Amazon aggregator. There would be no Patterns of the world or Luminize, right? There would all those companies that have tons of accounts. Yeah, so that's not the IP address thing. That's very old. That's not a thing anymore. Now, what can cause a linked account issue? The primary thing that typically causes a linked account issue is if you have two different seller accounts that, yes, can be linked together via things such as IP address and things such as, same owner information, but different business information. And again, having you're allowed to have two different Seller Central accounts, and you are allowed to have two different businesses that have two different Seller Central accounts. The real thing that actually pins down a linked account is when two different Seller Central accounts on two different businesses with the same IP address also happen to sell a lot of the same products. Which I'm guessing is probably what happened to your client, especially if he's helping out his friend in some capacity, right? Amazon does not want the same person just imagine for like resellers. One person, if you have 10 people on buy box, let's assume every person gets 10% of that buy box. Well, what happens if one of those 10 people happens to open up 50 different Seller Central accounts and then all jump on to that one listing? They are now getting 50% of buy box across all of their different Seller Central accounts, and everyone else has to get the scraps of that, right? So that's the reason behind why Amazon will do account linkage in this day and age. It's very rare that they do it just because same IP address, and if they do via same IP address, it's usually because there was something else nefarious. Account linkage is usually linked to Section 3 as well, where Amazon just uses Section 3 as like a catch-all for, hey, you did something wrong, and so we're deactivating you. Okay, we got another question. If you guys have questions, throw them in the chat now. I'm not seeing many other things in there. If I don't see any other questions in the chat, then I'll just kind of start rambling about some news, talk about that kind of stuff, and we'll go from there. But so 30 questions in the chat. Which is better? That's not okay. Which is better, FBA or FBM? If we sell something on Amazon, what type of fees are there in FBA? So I would always consider FBA to technically be better. The reasoning behind that is that you get Prime. So the Prime badge is a huge converting factor, right? If you don't have Prime or the Prime badge, then you don't get the idea of like same shipping, right? So not same day, that 2-day shipping, right? So people really like the Prime badge. They like it's a huge converting factor because they like the shipping. They know Amazon, they know Prime, so on and so forth. And so FBA, in my opinion, is just better. It's usually going to be a little bit cheaper from a logistics standpoint. It's going to have, I would just say, a better process for you. There's a lot less you have to handle. Now, is it higher cost? Is there higher fees? Yeah. It's going to be more expensive than FBM. Of course it is. But I think the sales bump in revenue is going to be worth that trade-off at the end of the day. So, let's see here. We have, oh God, now you guys are just spamming the chat with questions. Okay. Craig, what are you telling your Amazon clients regarding off-platform ads, either driving that traffic to Amazon PDPs? How are you accurately tracking those clicks to purchases? A follow-up question. Okay, hold Follow-up question. What are you changing in the creative for off-platform ads versus on-platform? All right, let's take this one at a time. What are you telling your Amazon clients regarding off-platform ads about either driving that traffic to Amazon PDPs? Okay. We have two scenarios for what we typically look at when we're looking at off traffic, or off Amazon traffic. So we're looking at doing advertising or email marketing, right? And so driving that to Amazon PDPs, up in the air. It depends on what our overall goal is. So if our overall goal is direct conversion to a single listing, then yeah, we just drive it direct to a PDP. With things like meta advertising, you can directly connect in your Amazon account to your Meta account, and you can actually have them purchase in the app on Meta. So in like Instagram, if they click an ad for Amazon, they can buy within the app, and they never even go outside. They don't go to Amazon's PDP or any of that. So that's something that we do sometimes for clients. Secondary thing would be sometimes landing pages. So creating a landing page that has essentially that buy with Prime button on the landing page, which is essentially going to act as a purchase from Amazon, but it's a specific landing page that you control that isn't on Amazon. So you can kind of more so curtail that customer experience. So how are we accurately tracking those clicks to purchase? Exactly that way. So a click to, first off, attribution links. So using things on Amazon, using those brand referral bonus links and the attribution section on Amazon's ads platform allows you to actually track it pretty accurately. Secondarily, if you do the landing page strategy that I was just kind of talking about, that lets you track it exceptionally accurately because you can do a one-to-one and you can actually track via pixel as well. So that makes things a little bit easier on that front. And then your last question, Craig, was what are you changing in the creative for off-platform ads versus on-platform ads? A lot. So a lot of off-platform ads, we're doing more video content, I think, just because video does better on social. We're also doing more often than not just like a single listing image. So the actual product image, I'm sure people have seen something similar to it on like Facebook or on Instagram at some point in time. So it depends on the client and what we're trying to do. Sometimes we're just making a full kind of copy post with just a singular one-off image as well. Jeff, I recently launched a new product enrolled in Vine for 30 reviews. 6 weeks later, I only have 24 reviews. I reached out through the proper channel and got no response. What can I do? Okay, so this is a common problem that you have with Vine. You can sign up in Vine for 30 reviews. That does not mean that people are going to instantly review your product or that they even have to review your product. You are signing up for up to 30 reviews. And that's a very important distinction, is up to 30 reviews. It is not you get 30 reviews, is up to 30 reviews. You send it to 30 different people. Now they are supposed to review, and people who don't review often end up getting kicked off the Vine platform. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you will get all 30 of those right away or within a timely fashion. Case in point, 6 weeks later, what can you do? Not really much. It's, again, another reason I don't encourage Vine. I don't think it's all that useful. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to make or break a product's ability to perform on Amazon. Mark, can you run a Career Connections campaign and use the brand referral link at the same time? I heard there was a policy change regarding this earlier this year. Can you help clarify? Yes, so you cannot do that. The unfortunate part here is that Amazon did a policy change where basically, and it wasn't actually even for Career Connections program, it was actually for Amazon influencer program. So the problem essentially is that people were taking brand referral bonus. They were giving that link to influencers. Influencers already have their own attribution link and get a percentage of sales. So there's already the aspect they're getting that percentage, and then people were getting on top of that percentage off. So it's like, hey, we're giving the influencer 10%. We get 10% off our fees. And then, Amazon gets nothing, right? So it was just like a cut and dry thing at the end of the day. And so, yeah, Amazon changed it to where influencers and I believe Yes Career Connections no longer can utilize that brand referral bonus, unfortunately, for the ability, because it kind of just made it so, everyone won except for Amazon. And God forbid everybody wins except for Amazon, right? Daniel, if the ASIN is dogged, is there any way to get the number of reviews and ratings for that not visible listing? API, external tools, Seller Central. You could technically, I guess, try and pull historical data. I mean, I guess, do you have access to the ASIN or don't you? I mean, if you know what the ASIN is, you know what? If you know what the ASIN is, throw the ASIN into Keepa. Keepa tracks historical data for ASINs and keeps it in its database. So you could throw that ASIN into Keepa, and as long as the ASIN itself is still, I guess, within the platform and it was ever curated by Keepa, then yeah, you should be able to pull it at that point. Also, hi Noah, hope you are well. I am Mark. Thank you. Pro Hall, is it worth going to Amazon convention in Seattle? Would I be able to meet someone that can help me deal with my attackers? I'm going. You can meet me. I'll help you deal with your attackers. It's an odd way to talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to it. That being said, I think you're asking more on the actual Amazon side rather than like an agency side of things. Maybe. So one of the things that I will say is kind of nice about Accelerate is that they essentially have a section dedicated to in-person seller support with agents that can actually do things on the spot. So I go every single year, and one of the things that I do while I'm there is I get like our brand management team to send over any problems that on accounts that have been going for a long period of time, anything that's along those lines, and I have them send over. I'll spend 2 hours or something on one of the days just going to the in-person seller support and seeing what kind of assistance I can get for our clients. Right? It's still seller support. The difference is they can't just throw a template at you and say, sorry, I don't know, right? It's going to be another 72 hours. It's a person who actually, has a little bit more pull, a little bit more authority. They have the tools right there. They can actually do something. They're trained representatives. So honestly, a lot of times that's half the reason to go for, I think, some sellers is just to get problem solved. And also just to meet some reps that maybe you can exchange contact info. You have problems in the future, you can reach out to them. So I've met over the years a lot of different reps and whatnot at Accelerate that I still, will talk to once or twice a month just because we have an issue that pops up and I'm like, hey, can you guys potentially help us solve this? And so, yeah, I would say, is it worth it? Depends on how big of an issue it is for you. But I think going to Accelerate in general is maybe like what, $500, $1,000. It's like, is your problem worth that cost plus hotel and everything? Hey Noah, we have discovered that our supplier mislabeled our stock and FBA are getting returns. Can we get Amazon to relabel? Technically, yeah. It's not easy unless it's in the receiving stage. So you can ask them, open up a support ticket with seller support to try and get it. That you're going to have to pay for it. That being said, coming January 1st, for those that are not aware, relabeling is no longer going to be allowed via Amazon. So Amazon is actually getting rid of relabeling for any product that comes in starting January 1st, 2026. So you cannot get relabeled. They will not do prep services for you anymore. They're only receiving product in and acting as basically a warehouse distribution now. I have an account from India. I want to open an LLC in the future and transfer my brand onto the new LLC. Does that mean I will get hit with the account linkage bans? No, that shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Well, if you're going to transfer your brand onto the new LLC, yeah, no, that should be fine. As long as you have two different LLCs, you can do brand transfers all the time. I actually have a client right now that just jumped on with us, just signed on with us, who that's exactly what we're doing for them, is we're helping them out with a full brand transfer from one Seller Central onto theirs, just for a business that they're purchasing. So yeah, you can do that. You shouldn't be hit with any linkage for that. But no longer own it. What is happening here? But no longer own it. Sean, I don't know where the first part of this is. Yeah, I don't know where the first part of your question is. I only have the second part, I think. So I'm just gonna read through this. No longer have the rights to by providing supporting documentation. This includes, but is not limited to, sales deeds, purchase agreement, business transfer agreement, contract termination. But client Seller Central account details is not same with other account we submitted POA, but still same response and solution. Can you, Sean, can you list out the first question again? I don't have your first question. I only have those two that I just showed, and I don't know where the first part of your question went. But anyways, if you can list that out, I'd be happy to answer it though. Deepak, I have an 11, I assume CBM, whatever. Shipment leaving on 1st September. Should it take 30 days to reach the port? Should I assume it will take me until late October to go live for my new launch? Ooh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you, Deepak. If it is going to take 30 days to reach the port, expect that you are not going live before like maybe middle of November if you're lucky. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and this is everyone here's reminder to send in your Q4 inventory for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Christmas before, I would say, like the second week of September. To be honest, you really should have your Q4 inventory in like first week of October at the latest. That is just when you need to get in. At the very latest, and even then, it's going to be a little late, in my opinion. So Q4, for those that are uninitiated, Amazon basically starting in September usually rolls out a thing that says, hey, we can take up to longer than 90 days to receive your inventory because of just demand. Because so many people come in Q4 who are, just sending product in and they want to make their sales for Q4. So unfortunate. Fernando. Hello, sir. What's the best practice or strategy, to promote subscribe and save? I mean, obviously the discount code, right? So adding an additional discount on top for subscribe and save is probably always going to be, technically best as far as how to actually get more people to sign on for that kind of initial discount. I think another one I like recently is, I don't know if every account has it. I'll check this one right now because I know that this account doesn't have subscribe and save. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself now. For now, there's a new variation to brand tailored promotions that's in beta on some accounts that allows you to essentially target people with high intent towards subscription products. I don't know how they get that audience group, and I don't know if it's available on every single one. It's not available on the account I'm currently on. So let me double check. I'll try and find it. I'll shoot you a link to it on an account later, just so you can check it out though. But that would probably actually be the biggest thing. But discounts is always going to be the biggest for subscribe and save. And then on top of that, you essentially have to run a coupon alongside it pretty much at all times. With increasing costs of everything in the whole world, especially selling on Amazon, what is the minimum or ideal cost of goods multiple to be profitable? I know it depends on category, etc., but an average, please. Yeah, so I don't think that any of that has really changed. I am always going to look for a 3x multiple as like a very bare minimum. I'm not going to deal with anything that has less than a 3x multiple, just because at that point in time, it's like, and that's on profit, I should say. I don't know anyone who is doing anything less than that, who is scaled past, I would say, $1 million. There are some people, I'm sure, but most of the time it's, you're looking at cost goods 3x multiple as like a very bare minimum, or an average, I guess, at the end of the day. What 2 or 3 things are coming to Amazon platform that sellers should be aware of? I mean, the no longer the prep. That's probably the big one. I've done a lot of news this week. I planned on doing a news review. So like this week in general, there's been a lot of news. I think the big things coming to the platform. Let's look. The UK EU stuff, the tariff stuff, that's interesting. Oh, the new feedback system. That's the big one, Craig. For those that are uninitiated, Amazon essentially is rolling out this week, starting the fact that people can leave feedback reviews on seller profiles without writing anything in there. Basically, what this means for you is that you are going to be getting new seller feedback that you have no ability whatsoever to argue against. So imagine that most seller feedback is going to be lower in regard to the fact that people just leave 1-star reviews if they have bad experience. They're not going to write anything with that 1-star review. So what does that mean? Well, it means you have no ability to say, hey, this goes against Amazon terms of service and policy. I shouldn't have this. And so everyone's seller feedback on average is going to be lower moving forward. I think that's the biggest one that's coming. Anything else? There isn't many like big ones. The FTC crackdown is pretty interesting, I would say. For those that are uninitiated with that one, the FTC is cracking down on Walmart and Amazon for anyone who has made in the USA listed on their product to ensure that products are actually made in the USA. That's a really big one. And then Craig says, thank you for all your advice and knowledge shared to the Amazon community. We greatly appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amazon said that you have been found to be related to an account beginning with the other account. Okay. To reactivate the account, please provide evidence that you once owned the account or had account rights, but no longer own it, or no longer have account rights by supporting documentation. But client seller central account details not the same with the other client. We submitted POA, but still same response, any solution. No, not really. The unfortunate part here is the thing that they asked you to do there. Please provide evidence that you once owned the account or had account rights but no longer own it, or no longer have account rights by providing supporting documentation. Very much go with the no longer have account rights. Okay, you need to go do not say I did not own it. Do not say that you no longer own it or anything like that. The reason being is that basically Amazon is just trying to pin you. They have the very much the thing of you are guilty until proven innocent. So in situations like this, your best bet is going to basically say that you were a former rights owner of the account. You no longer have rights. This is just an account you assisted in setup and is not an account that is owned by or has been owned by your client. Let's see. Bonds. I'm selling. I just read Fonz. I'm just like, hey, I'm old. I am selling card games in Germany, France, and UK. What is the best amount and strategy to launch a new title? A best amount and strategy to launch a new title. I don't think I understand by best amount, but I will give you best strategy. So we have, if you go to myamazonguy.com/perfect launch, I believe is the URL. If you go there, we essentially have an entire guide on what you should be doing when you first launch on Amazon for any brand. If you already are selling card games and you already have a brand, very much start with some sponsored brand campaigns if you have any search volume whatsoever, and really pump up your product on your own branded search terms. Add your product into all of your detail pages on the A+ content so that it gets a little bit more visibility, potentially increase average order value. You could even do a BOGO, which is something I've seen people do recently with some launches on brands that are kind of more populous, so to speak. Let's see. Amazon said that you have been found to be related to an account beginning with the other. Okay. Got it. Okay. I already answered. Is it cheaper to have my stock all shipped to AWD for Q4, save money on storage fees versus send it to FBI? I don't think I should send anything to the FBI. I know I have until August 29th to have it all delivered. Yeah, AWD, I would just do that. It's not necessarily going to be cheaper, but it will absolutely be better peace of mind for you. Strategizing my PPC right now, and I wanted to create a mini relaunch. Should I do the cart abandon her? Okay. Cart abandoner. Okay. And do a lightning strike to get the momentum and ranking again. Yeah, you can. Warning, the lightning strike only works for the specific people, right? So lightning strike works for everyone. The cart abandonment only works for people in that audience group, right? So it's only that, and they don't necessarily get both at the same time, but they can get both at the same time, and they can stack. Some people forget that yes, brand card abandoners, brand promotions in general can stack with other types of deals such as lightning. So be cognizant of that your profitability, especially with this PPC relaunch, it's going to be a little tricky at the moment because you'll have some people who are purchasing the product getting, let's say, 30% off. Then you'll have other people purchasing it and they're only getting 10% off. You have other people purchasing and maybe they're getting 20% off, right? So it's going to be kind of, I would always just base everything on your PPC off of your top deal amount, top theoretical deal amount, just so, when you're making any of those changes, you don't trip yourself up. So, and that looks like the last question, unless I'm missing anything. So I think we might call it a little early today. It's 1st August, everybody. That means we are heading into the fall season, or at least I like to think so, even though it's, like 80 something degrees out today for me. I like to think it's fall. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. So either way, I think we'll call it a little early today. Hope everyone has a great weekend, great week ahead. Again, we are My Amazon Guy. We are a full service Amazon agency. We do everything on Amazon A to Z, and not just Amazon. We also have direct consumer services now. We work on Shopify, Walmart, eBay, pretty much every platform you can think about, and have dedicated experts inside who know everything in and out of each one of those platforms, and myself, I suppose. So all that being said, right here. Do you help sellers on Walmart, Shopify, eBay, etc.? Yes, we do. That was perfect timing. So yes, we help sellers on every single platform. We look at ourselves as a full service e-commerce agency at this point in time. So we have my Shopify guy, my eBay guy, my Walmart guy, everything my guy. We are your guy at the end of the day. I am your guy, I suppose. So all that being said, hope everyone has a great weekend, great week ahead, and I'll see you guys next week.